think in Spain it's quite different. Guys get a lot of like
The jaw filler, right?
Yeah, in the-
It's so sharp. Sometimes when I see the picture, I'm like, I think it's not natural.
Hello! Hi, I'm Nara and I'm from Korea.
Hi, I'm Matthew and I'm from Poland.
Hi, I'm Ryan and I'm from the UK.
Hi, I'm Fonso and I'm from Spain.
Hi, I'm Alexander and I'm from France. No.
Definitely
No.
not.
No.
No.
Everyone's different.
Yeah.
Have its own standards, right?
Yeah. Like-
It's also based on like the natural features country has in the first place. So as of right now, these are the men that are considered like the most attractive people in Korea. What do y'all think?
It depends on the situation, I think. For younger girls that would like oppa style is the left one, right? The famous actor. But like these days, because of the K-pop idols, they are like always good body, well dressed, good skin. They look really like
Glamorous.
right?
Glamorous? Yeah.
Glamorous. So these days, I think more trendy face is the right one.
For me, I mean, on the right, he's very cute. But for me, it's like too cute. Like, it's obviously attractive, handsome and everything, but more like a younger brother kind of vibe, and the hairstyle and the way he's groomed and everything is a bit too young-ish. I totally get the attraction to like idol vibe, but for me, on the left, he's got a lot more charisma. And the charisma, the confidence is what I feel is more like hot, like is more sexy, you know, it's like, you can see that. For me, his face is not the handsomest of all men, but because of the confidence, he's very handsome.
Yeah.
Like you can really feel that he's there and he's...
I also feel like a weird phenomenon that I've seen in Korea. It's more like soft features, really like soft looking, but still
Looking
masculine, but like mixed. There's like clean shaven and like skinnier side. Yeah.
I think as well because China is really pale
Yeah.
and people really
They love
consider that, yeah, but then like the older guy is a bit more tanned. That's one of the main things I think about as well, is the tanness of it.
Also, I think like Korean people like more soft features and also like that kind of familiar vibe, kind of the older brother, the one that take care of the girl, like really caring and really like paying attention and stuff. And I think that kind of beauty is really like, or that kind of atmosphere in the person.
So I think it would really depend on what people personally like, but it's like the similarity I would say is that he's quite sweet looking. I think more so appearance-wise, there'll probably be a blend of the two.
So I feel like in France, the beauty standards is a little bit different than in Korea, but there's also like the two different styles. Also, I feel. There's Vincent Cassel, for example, he's more like a mature man now, but he's always been like really handsome for French people. Like he's been in movies since he was very young. He's got very strong charisma and features. He's Monica Bellucci's ex-husband. So he had one of the most beautiful wives, like women on earth.
He looks very French to me.
Yeah, he's got really strong feature, like he's got a strong nose, like strong jawline.
Whenever I think Frenchman, I think of the word rugged. Like I don't know how to explain it, like, you know, like slight beard, like stubble and...
Yeah, it's kind of a mix, like you want to be chic, but you want to show that you're...
Still a man.
Yeah, but in a way that like you don't take care of yourself too much, but still when you go out, you're still something you want to look at. You know, even wrinkles is not something that's frowned upon. It's like, oh, he's lived.
Yeah.
It's like wine, you know, it's like
Aged a bit.
He aged. So that's why like people like Vincent Cassel that are older looking compared to like Gaspard Ulliel are still very attractive and very sexy for even younger women.
But I was just wondering, how do they take care of the skincare or like beauty themselves?
Not. It's like in Korea, of like the beauty, the cosmetic is really like high maintenance. It's like 10 steps, 5 steps, whatever. In France, I think it's basically you wash your face, you shave, you moisturize, or you put aftershave, and that could be it.
We are like East Europe, right? We are like South. I feel like it's a big difference. Like in Poland, they trying to take like good care of themselves these days. and they're like really interested in plastic surgeries and like fillers, Botox these days. So all the girls, almost all my friends like did some fillers or like the permanent makeup.
And
so
men too? Men do surgery, or like surgery, like interventions and stuff like this?
I think these days they try some injections too. These days trend in Poland is like to keep myself young at the same time they don't lose about the sexiness and the stuff like that.
And in France and I think in Western Europe in general, like especially men don't do cosmetic procedures like surgeries, injections and stuff like this. And if you do, you hide it as much as possible and you want it to be as natural as possible.
I think in Spain is quite different because these days like guys get a lot of like
The jaw filler, right?
yeah, in the-
It's so sharp. Sometimes when I see the picture, I'm like, I think it's not natural.
But they like really sharp jaw. So like they kind of fill here with hyaluronic acid or I don't know, and then like with the beard, they shadow it to make it like look stronger. But in the case of girls like breast or like, it's kind of, they don't hide it. It's like, oh, I did it because I look cooler or I'm more
Because
pretty.
she wanted it, yeah.
Oh yeah, people have filler, surgery, everything all the time, and it's so popularized now.
Yeah.
Like it's not even hidden. There's like shows about it and all sorts of things like
Same in
liposuction. Media is so, I think, wild in the UK compared to like when I watch Korean TV and stuff like that. I think it's like quite in your face, but like the UK, there is a reality show about everything. They will follow someone to the loo, like literally, and people have no shame about it. And so it's like there's things like The Only Way is Essex, which is about a groups of young people living in Essex, and all they do is get Botox. They go to parties, they get
drunk.
like literally bum lifts, boobs, anything that you can imagine they have. It depends what circles you are around all the time. They wouldn't hide it. Also, in the UK, it's one of those weird things that the more you talk about the stuff that you've gotten done, the more you can get from it. If a man in the UK gets Botox, then a doctor might see it and go, oh, well, next time we'll give you that for free. And then you end up with all these men competing to try and get these different procedures. Because there's like men that even get like silicone in their chest and in their abs and stuff because they don't want to go to the gym. Or they go to the gym but they don't think it's paying off enough, so then they get fake six pack.
Enhancing.
Yeah, they tend to really look after themselves.
I don't know if other countries have the same thing, but it's like half and half. The men I've seen, like half of them are like, they don't care.
Yeah.
They're gonna wear like the Coca-Cola shirts that they got from the company. They're gonna like be in socks and like they don't care, like shorts and like fat beer gut, and it's okay. But the ones that are like either in entertainment industry or are influencers, they go all the way to
There's
not
no
look
middle ground.
Latin American. They do skin treatments. They do like eyebrow like. Micro needling. Yeah. They do their noses like this, but then the jaws like this, and they go like this. So they look almost fake. They look like a filter.
I think maybe it's the same, but in Spain we have a lot of TV shows and everyone looks the same.
Yeah.
Like, and people just follow sometimes.
I think the one thing as well about England is we look at other countries and see the things that we like about them and try and imitate those.
Yeah.
It's completely opposite to Korea, I think, which is why I think it's so interesting. Like when I came here, in the summer, I'm the person that's in a vest and the shortest shorts you will see because I need a tan. And like here everyone's like, no, none of this sunlight business for me. And everyone's really pale, and then I'm there like trying to get burnt. And like in the UK, people will spend thousands of pounds trying to get darker because it's like we see Latin American women or we see Spanish
They come
women.
to Spain to get.
We flock to Spain in the summer, and you will see there will be girls and some men as well, like quite a few men. You go to Spain or Greece or somewhere in the summer, you come back a different colour, different lips, different eyes, different ears, different
These days, I heard about
new
that.
boobs, new bum. Like the passport picture that you entered Spain with,
Is that
totally different?
who is that woman? Who is
Oh
that
my
man?
God.
Because it's like it genuinely is a completely different person. Like
Yeah.
where you were like in France, old people might not say it. In the UK, like a man if he's had Botox, he'll walk up to you, and be like, do you know where I got this done? And do you know like it cost me this much, and it was by this doctor. And
I think it's also like part of the culture
Yeah,
because
exactly.
like.
Might be, yeah.
If I'm with my family or my friends, like, oh, I did this or I did that, or like, and they're like, ah, yeah, I did that too, and we compare, like, oh, in this clinic is good, and like, you know, it's like there's
Just
that kind of
recommend.
natural conversation about.
So in the UK, obviously, because it's quite.
very
There's
mixed.
there's a big melting pot. So really, the standard depends on like what kind of man you're looking at. So there's people like a bit older, and Idris Elba, an actor. They're rumouring him to be the next James Bond. But then that obviously shows how much the beauty standard is changing, right? Because he's like a more mature black guy, and James Bond is supposed to be this like tall, dark, and handsome, as it were, this white man, which is like Daniel Craig, because women love Daniel Craig.
He's very, very famous.
Yeah.
Became really famous in the past few years. Like he's one of the recent Superman,
Yeah, DC
and
movie.
he's also The Witcher on Netflix, which is totally different style. Like he's got long white hair. And
Yeah,
like,
sure.
If y'all want to know something interesting about Henry Cavill, I feel like that type of guy is more into what guys think girls like.
That's
Because
true,
like a
yeah.
couple of weeks ago, I actually didn't know who Henry Cavill was, right? And my friend goes like, "Oh, he's hot. He's from Latin America too." Every single man from every country is like, "Yeah, he's hot." And I was like, "Oh, I've seen. Yeah, it's cute."
I think he's like a standard. He's like standard.
Yeah.
He's like the standard for
But-
every single country.
He's like handsome, but like in the
Conventional,
stereotypical,
yeah.
like
The
conventional
stereotypical
way.
way,
He's-
yeah.
I'm British, but like especially in
Yeah.
Korea, if I say that I'm British, or do a form and there's no thing. My name is very like plain and basic, and then like I think when people think of Britain, they think of like this very clean-shaven, gentleman-looking white guy,
Suit.
very suit and tie,
Yeah.
umbrella in the rain, like Madam, can I help you?
Like-
kind of
Like
yeah.
the actor from Kingsman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
England, well, the UK is quite a strange one because there's so many people that
Yeah.
different people would consider attractive.
So they're part of the culture, and it's a mix of a blend of ethnicities and like
Yeah.
origins and stuff like this. In Korea, it's very Korea.
Yeah.
Like it's Korean
You
people.
know
style.
And when you're a
Korean
foreigner,
person,
you're
yeah.
part of this very small percentage of foreigners, but it's not really blend.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the standards are more like you have to look very Korean.
I've seen it a lot with men in Japan and Korea recently, because the ones that look like they're Korean but not quite Korean are the ones who get the most hype.
Yeah.
Or the ones who are like American Korean, everybody goes all over them. Like people really like mixed features
Yeah.
that aren't seen usually.
Yeah.
Poland, Paweł Delo. He used to be really famous actor. I think this picture is like after he got a little bit older, but before he looked like way younger. I think Polish girls, they like more a guy who's taking care of a girl.
A man's man.
Oh,
masculine.
A man's man.
Yeah.
It's not that much about like how they look like. Of course, everyone wanna have like handsome boyfriend or husband,
Yeah.
right? But like it's more about how they behavior and hardworking and his personality mostly.
I'm from London. There were so many Polish people in my school, and that guy, if I thought of a Polish man, it's that man. Like a man's man. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like if you could tell a Polish person anything to do anything, and they will just get it done. They will do it. They will do it with their heart, and then they will leave. And that is kind of how he's got that aura about him.
It was really interesting. It's funny how I feel like in Europe there's this thing that you don't necessarily have to be the most handsome, like in beauty standard, like I mean the features and everything, but it's more about the attitude that's mixed with
So,
that.
yes.
Like
Yeah.
you don't have to be as pretty as possible. It multiplies your beauty way more. Like
I feel like living in Korea for such a long time, it's really interesting to see the beauty standards of different countries, because like what is really, really attractive in one country may not be in others. For instance, in Korea, a big beard is generally not seen as attractive. But for instance, like in places like the UK or like Poland or like even Mexico, the States, any place, seeing like all that melting pot seems really interesting, because now nobody's special if they stick out. Everyone has their own beauty, their own uniqueness. So I feel like that's why the confidence has to stick out, because if you're confident, that could be a game changer, because everyone's pretty, everyone's so different, everyone's pretty, right?
True.
Also, like in general, the beauty standards are changing everywhere. Like now we have plus size models, like we have
Exactly,
tons
yeah.
of different
Yeah.
models. And I think society in general is tired of just beauty. Like, oh, a beautiful girl, a handsome boy. It's just like, oh, it's unique. It has some
Attitude.
kind of attitude or personality, and that's the new beauty.
Yeah.
It's just his or her style, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We don't judge people.
So today was pretty interesting. We saw a lot of beauty standards from around the world.
So if you like our video, please subscribe.
And we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.